Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. By using our link, you can get 10% off your first month of therapy. So, Naz, as a therapist on BetterHelp, what has your experience been like?
I've been doing it since January of 2021, and it's been really fun and exciting. I've been able to reach clients all over the United States and the world. I've had good relationships. I've had folks that I've had for a couple months and a good handful where I've had for almost 2 years now. So it's magnificent. I've enjoyed my time and my clients. I love them.
Awesome. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel the most comfortable. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/DSP or choose Different Spectrums podcast during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Hey everybody, we back again.
I'm already laughing. Oh, hello,
Yeah.
we back.
Our Spencer, of course, we have our licensed clinical therapist, Naz.
Dr. Nas, hello, peeps.
I don't like how you go like you go laugh and then go serious in like 5 seconds.
I can,
Very...
I can get turned on and off real quick.
Yeah, this is the show that's going to be happening today. Remember, don't take us too serious.
Or do. That's completely up to you.
There we go. Don't forget to rub those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. So today we have a special guest. She is a real estate advisor, as well as the sister to our lovely co-host here, Nazir. Please welcome Sabrina Burda, BSM and RN.
Hey everyone.
Keep it innocent because we're going to get into it in a minute.
Yeah, it'll get worse. All right. So before we get into it, shout out to Cure Hydration. They have all the hydration packs you ever would want or need in all different variety of flavors. So go check them out. And then also use our code that's in the link down below. Yep, where he's pointing. Yep, there you go. And then you can get I believe 10% off your whole order.
Yep.
If you order through our code DSP or DSP10. So go do it. Do it. Cure Hydration. Hydrate.
Stay alive.
All right. So stay alive. Yep. All right. So today we are actually covering a few scenes from the show Only Murders in the Building, starring the great Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
Yep.
Yes, so great. A few things that we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about whiting out. What that means. What does that mean? How is it different from blacking out? I don't know. We'll find out later in the show if you keep watching. Also, we're going to be talking about behavior modifications. What are those? I don't know. I don't know a lot of things that are happening on this show today, but it's going to be great. And then we're also going to be talking about how to use tools again. How do you use the tools that you've had in your life to kind of cope with your anxiety?
Yep.
And go moving forward and how that can affect you. Yeah. Anything else, Nas, before we get into the show?
We're going to do a deep dive into the origins of the Kama Sutra and the antelope.
Let's look that up.
Let's look up the antelope.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
I know it's Kama Sutra.
Yeah.
You know.
It was I went over there. I thought it was the Mongols, right? Mongolian Empire.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I don't fucking
I've seen
know.
the book.
You seen it.
All right. Aren't they Indian?
It's like this bit. I mean, there's like thousands of positions.
No. Well,
Thousands.
like I said in pre-production, I got 4.
You know.
That's it.
I'm Catholic.
Only
so,
1,000.
Catholics, we don't believe in none of that shit, so. It's a sin. All y'all living in sin. Okay. We're going to have some honest and great discussions, obviously, about anxiety, whiting out, and we're going to share some stories. Right. This is my sister. And so we're going to have some fun. We're going to laugh. This will be a somewhat more chill, funny podcast. So be prepared for that. There will be some inappropriate moments. So not necessarily trigger warning, but if you're looking for the therapy, good therapy.
Oh.
Right.
You're not going to get it here today. So
No.
excited to have some fun and talk about, me blacking out. Whoop, whoop.
White out.
White out. All right. Sabrina, can we get a whoop, whoop?
Whoop, whoop.
Hey, energy.
Yeah, very enthusiastic.
There it was. I like that.
Can I get a whoop, whoop?
For all my fellas in the club, or is it ladies in the club? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I already done. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can I get a whoop whoop?
It feels faster than it was yesterday. Always been that fast?
Always been that fast, Charles.
Take it down just a little bit. Oh, Mabel, you don't have to be here because this is just boring play stuff.
Nope, something is telling me I can't miss this.
Which of the Pickwick triplets did it? Who of the crew would commit this crime? My little frat, make it loud, equals fat. It's a story, little story for a nursery rhyme. Which of the pig fuck dick one did it? Which of the goddamn fucking shit?
May I step out to call my therapist?
Yes, of course you can.
I don't know what happened. My mind just went blank, and I crossed over into this other realm. Am I dead? Am I on drugs? Am I dead and on drugs?
Bro, you went to the White Room.
The what room?
White Room. It's an actor thing.
A stage thing. In TV, if you screw up, you get another take. In theater, there's no net. You blank out, that's it. You're a polar bear in a global warming documentary, hanging onto a tiny piece of ice in the middle of the sea, waiting to die.
Happened to me in 2014. I was doing a production of As You Like It in Wilmington. I'll never know exactly what I did on that stage, but there are now pictures of my penis on the internet, and I can only assume that's how they got there.
Okay, well, that's, how do I stay out of it?
Look, I've dealt with anxiety. Once I went to the White Room and woke up 2 days later at a Papa John's in Yonkers. It's scary. The trick is to find your happy place.
Okay, everyone. After what we just witnessed, we need to take 5. Maybe years.
Oliver, I want to apologize for lying to you earlier when I asked to step out to call my therapist. I don't actually have a therapist, just my cousin Moses Morse from State Farm, who I call when things go wrong. He helps me.
Howard, not now.
So I know that we're just recovering from what just happened, and frankly, I'm having a hard time making eye contact with you, Charles.
What did I do up here?
Too soon!
Not ready.
Which of the Pickwick triplets did it? Who of the crew would commit this crime? Might a little brat make a mommy go splat? It's a story pretty gory for a nursery rhyme. Which of the Pickwick triplets did it? Which of the spawn and the brawn to kill? Will a baby get tried for matricide? Coochie, time for you to admit it. So quick as a whip, gotta pick which Pickwick triplet did it. Joy! I did it! I did the song!
What?
I know the trick now. All I have to do is make an omelet.
Huh?
Yeah, for years I made omelets to relax, and my brain associates that with comfort. I know I'm not mentally healthy, but that's okay because I can sing the song.
Charlie, this is no bueno. The omelet was a one-time stress release. You thinking you need the omelet? That's a hard no. Hard no. That is a crutch.
Yeah, it's a crutch. That's good, right?
Look at me, lover. You have me now. I'm the omelet. Say it.
You're the omelet.
I'm gonna look out for you, Charlie. Just like I did with Ben Glenroy. He knew if he touched one hair on your gorgeous little head, he was gonna have to deal with me. Now let's go to bed. I've been reading the Kama Sutra and we haven't done the antelope yet.
Okay, I'm just gonna make one more omelet.
Charlie. The antelope.
And hit it off with Chopin. It was a little awkward at first, but...
Hard to oversell just how disinterested I am in this story. Okay, let's get started. Charles, I cannot wait to see your newly flawless patter song.
Whoa!
Tom, if you will.
There we go.
Okay. And Charles, remember, these babies are homicidal. Sing.
Thank you, Tom. Which of the Pickwick triplets did it? Who of the crew would commit this crime? Might a little brat make a mommy go splat? It's a story pretty gory for a nursery rhyme. Which of the Pickwick triplets...
I'm sorry. What the hell is happening with your hands?
I'm just keeping the beat. It's a little choreo that I came up with, and I think it adds a little zazz, don't you?
Sorry, were you whisking?
Why label it? It's just the constable coming through me. I don't know what he's doing. He's got his own life.
Well, I hate it. Just sing.
Oh, but I think it'd be good.
Hands behind your back, Charles. Thanks.
Which of the Pickwick triplets did it? Which of the fool the quick five flew? Middle little Well, my pants are still on, so that's a good sign.
I have never heard filth like what just came out of your mouth.
Tom is a Christian, Charles.
Take the day, Tom. Find a priest. Pray it out.
I'm sorry, Tom. I don't know.
I'm taking control of this situation now. Step into my office.
It's this song. It's making me mental.
Is it the song? Look, Charles, I'm no psychoanalyst, although I did talk Idina Menzel off a literal ledge once, story for another time. But I'm wondering if there isn't something more going on.
Like what?
Like Joy moving in. That's a huge life change. Ever since I met you, you've been alone.
Well, you've been alone too.
Yes, but not in the sad, tragic way you were.
All right. I admit, I'm struggling. I don't know what's wrong with me. I want to be the guy who can do this, who can share his home with a woman, and if necessary, 62 fish.
That's a lot of fish.
It is, right?
Look, I'm going to go against my instincts here and say something nice to you. Maybe you don't need to change. Maybe you are who you are, and that's enough.
I suppose some people are meant to be alone. And maybe I'm one of them. But how can I ask her to move out? She just moved in.
You'll find the words. Just keep it simple and don't overthink it.
Well, you could stand to take your own advice.
Hey, this moment is about your emotional shortcomings, not mine.
Oh, and not about you overthinking your big date?
Fine. Send.
Hey everyone, have you been looking for something to help you when you feel extra fidgety? How about when you have a sensory overload? Well, I'm here to introduce you to the Oh No Fidget Roller. It helps me regulate and also feel at ease. The Oh No Roller comes in 5 different materials, including plastic, aluminum, steel, titanium, and silicone. You can use our code DSP10 to get 10% off your order when you visit onoroller.com and get your roll on.
She can read.
And we're back again.
Sorry.
Right now.
We're back and we're live. Just as live as, I don't know.
Wow. Fucking riveting.
I can't think of nothing. All I can think
Good
of
job.
is, boogers. I don't know. I don't know. God. We're back.
You're on one today. All right.
All the drugs.
So Sabrina, we have you here today on the pod. So how did Nas coax you into doing this show?
I think it was really like he invited me, right?
Mhm.
And then didn't say anything ever again. And I really felt like, and he's got he's getting all these followers, up to 15,000, and I really guilted myself into it.
Yeah.
My brother's ignoring me.
No,
I'm not talking to you again unless you come on the show. On the show, then you still don't talk to her.
Yeah, I think it was like almost like reverse. It was reverse psychology.
Yeah.
It really was. It was like, you know what? She's not really a sister unless she participates, and I'm not going to really reach out to her again. And I knew he wasn't. He wasn't. And then I felt guilty.
So this,
He's got all these episodes. He's got all these followers. Everyone's like, "Oh man, Nas' show is so cool," and I'm like, "Man." He asked me like 2 years ago to be on this. Like, maybe I ought to join.
Yeah, maybe.
It's been 2 years since y'all talked, huh? So long.
It's been a while.
So long.
It's a lot of love in this room,
Seems like it. I feel it.
This is also how I, my dating life. I'll ask them out, and then they don't really hear nothing, and then I wait until they get divorced, and and they can't afford their bills. Then I ask them out again.
Oh,
it's a good system. Good system.
Write a book on that.
Hey, would you like to go out again? And you just ignore him for like another 2 years.
Yep. I just like to tease them a little bit, let them know I'm there.
For 2 years? Actually, it's not even teasing for 2 years. You tease them one time in the past 2 years, and then they like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, it's not true. But no,
really?
I hit her up, and then I forgot, and then I hit her up again, and I had to hit her up again. So to be fair, she was ignoring me because I would send the message, and it would say read.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
Family confrontation.
So there's a problem with that whole read thing because it's assuming that someone's actually read it, even though they probably looked at it and not really read it. And then they forget, like me, then I forget that's even there.
You forgot about me. This feels all
So you saw the message, but you didn't want to read it.
Yeah.
But then, not that subconsciously, but
I really wanted to ignore him.
She became our mother. That's what it is. She forgot about me.
Hey,
Okay.
Leave mom out of this.
Don't you bring her.
Don't you bring her into this.
Oh man, don't make me pull out her ashes.
Oh my God.
Hey. You know.
Anyways,
let's smoke it up.
after that, so you're a registered nurse to BSN. Would you like to kind of go into that a little bit more and kind of your experiences as an RN?
Sure. Yeah. So started off 27 years ago. ICU, mostly cardiovascular, did some trauma, did some burn, migrant nursing and clinics, started a staffing agency a couple years after that, and have staffed over 1,000 nurses. And now I'm getting into real estate after 27 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
What made you want to do a switch?
You know, real estate is not that much of a switch, because basically just helping people solve their problems, right?
Right.
And I really see that my niche is working with the geriatric population, just like with ICU. I was mostly the geriatrics. So also one other important thing is I saw real estate as maybe a means to generating true wealth, which is hard to do if you're a foreigner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
So
Sabrina,
yeah, I do. I love it. Pardon me?
So you know, you're a nurse. I got this rash I need you to look at. It's right on my tush.
Is it reoccurring?
Look,
only when he wants it to be.
But only after certain people.
Is it reoccurring? It's in the shape of Texas. It's I'm not
pretty
gonna
big.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's the whole ass.
It's just red. Why is your whole ass red?
It's a baboon.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we've got some long needles like this.
Don't get him excited now.
Medicines that we inject with long needles, they're super, like pretty long.
Yeah, I'll just start taking a shower more
we
often.
can take care of that for you. We can do that.
I'll just start showering more often.
There you go. Yeah, instead of once a year, fucking twice a year. There
I'll
you
put
go.
some Windex on it.
Usually the blue stuff didn't help. What the fuck?
Windex or Tussin.
Sabrina, I got questions.
Yes.
So you got all these children.
I got several children.
You got children, right? And so they're all doing different things, right? And so where are they getting that intelligence from? Because where do they get that from?
That is funny. So is that is that the assumption?
No,
is that the assumption?
I won't make no assumptions.
No, he's not calling you a dumbass. No, he would never do that. He'd never say that.
They did let me into University of Michigan, by the way. We're not going to speak to the fact that I was out a year and a half later, but I did get in.
Hey,
She did.
You got in there.
She got in.
Didn't stay, but you got in.
You got in.
You're invited, but you left.
I knew the fight song really well. Hail to the victor's belly. Wait, I did come home my first Christmas, went home to mom's house, and I'm like, Mom, this is how you do it. And I took a quarter and rolled it off my nose onto the kitchen counter, into the coffee mug. Coffee, by the way, coffee mug. So this is early in the morning. And she said, this is what I'm paying for.
Oh, I know.
University of Michigan people.
I know she
Go
was
Wolverines.
Needless to say, I didn't stay there long.
Go Wolverines.
Oh, blue.
Hey, but small little pivot here.
Yes.
So, right, she had her interesting times in Michigan, which led to her, dismissal. And so, but then she recovered, still got highly educated. I had my interesting time, right, and university was dismissed as well for multiple different things. And then, of course, they call me Dr. Zerka now. Her son also had issues and was dismissed from university and then got a chemistry degree, a law degree, and then specialization at one of the biggest universities in America.
There you go.
And so I was teasing her about this intelligence thing, but our family's highly intelligent. But we grew up in a weird kind of situations, and so maybe our behaviors weren't the best. Maybe we didn't know on how to study or to do things a certain way. All of us got undiagnosed ADHD, plus a shit ton of trauma. And so the ability to regulate, to make choices, to finally be free from certain oppressive things, you kind of lose your shit. And then you get in trouble and you recover. So that takes a certain amount of intelligence and willpower and resiliency to do that in our family. So I thought that was cool to tease you about, but then also to be like, holy shit, look at what we've done. And no matter how much we may tease you or how much you may feel weird about things, all your children are like healthy and doing well. So does it really matter what happened in the past? Because everything ended up doing pretty good. And that's also what people preach to my father. He could be sad about something, but then they're like, look at your children. They're happy as shit and he's saving lives. Salim's happy and healthy. So you did okay.
For sure.
Your past things don't rule you. So things for our listeners to pay attention to is a really cool story about my sister here, my nieces and nephews, and me as well, my own father, Spencer. We've all had our weird pasts, and then we've achieved and surmounted those things. People have seen my life and career evolve over the 2 years. They've seen Spencer's life and evolve over the 2 years. So cool thing to do amongst the teasing. Now here's the real question.
Yes.
Who's your favorite kid? They're not going to watch the podcast because they're all TikTokers and idiots.
Tell it.
Who's the favorite kid?
Yeah. Don't lie here. Don't say all of them. Oh, they're all equal. Stop it. It's bullshit.
Yeah. It actually, I think, depends on who asked me for the least cash app. I mean, like, and it's funny because they all call me, except for Dimitri now. Dimitri actually paid for, so Dimitri is my law, graduated from Georgetown Law, and he's my lawyer. And no, he just paid for lunch this week for the first time ever. It's been awesome. No, I mean, it's they're great kids, all of them. But I breastfed Bryce for 2 years.
Okay.
So there's a strong bond there. I mean, I got to take off of work.
He got the tit.
And just enjoy raising this kid. He was totally ADD.
Oh, yes.
I was getting into trouble at these little, mom day out programs where they would have him for 5 days. I'd get sent home all the time. They wanted to put him on meds, and I just loved him. I thought he was great. I loved his go get attitude, the way that he would punch someone in a grocery store walking by or kick someone, who knocked on our door. He's always been kind of like the favorite, kid of mine, but it's probably because I've really got a chance to bond with him.
You got a good bond there, right?
2 years. I mean, he didn't leave my side for 2 years.
Yeah.
Which is an unusual experience for a lot of women, professional women, nowadays who have to go to work.
True.
So
serious note, true.
Yeah. So that was unique. I think there's a bond that he doesn't have to call me or anything like that. And, so I don't know. I'd say maybe
him.
But I mean, I'm so proud of Dimitri.
Yeah.
Because this is a child who grew up with I was a single mom on welfare. Let's face it.
Yep.
Having to wait in line back in those days in welfare offices for food stamps, and life was cars breaking down, not being able to get to school on time sometimes for my tests, and so he kind of went through the struggle with me. So who do I admire the most? Gosh, that kid is
amazing.
Really made me so proud, so proud.
Me and him talk about it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we he kind of had to grow up with a mom who was growing up, basically, so that's his accomplishments have been amazing. It's so cool to hear him, to see him and his character. And how charming he is and how educated really he is. And I mean, I don't even bother debating with him anymore because he wins every time. I
Yep.
mean, he's so skilled with that. There's no way I'm not going to waste my breath on an argument because he's that good. And you know, but Isabella too, like the trauma that she's been through, as you know, with her concussions and her brain injury that was really severe, so severe that, you know, she missed a menstrual cycle for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I mean, it was debilitating. Couldn't walk, couldn't really talk or focus on her schoolwork,
I
couldn't
remember it was
drive,
bad.
was isolated. And so her perseverance, her discipline, I mean, it's so much to be admired there with that. And, you know, she's graduating this year. So, I mean, I know, Spencer, you say it can't be all of them, but God, I mean, when you look at these people, these human beings, and they're like Nazir mentioned this word, the resilience and just their perseverance. I mean, there's so much that I love about all of them, you know, and the baby, well, she's the baby. So
She the
I
baby.
love her.
Yeah. So all the parents out there, remember to breastfeed. All right. Anyways, let's
Hey,
move on.
real quick. My dad, I remember I went to Texas and I'm like, Dad, this kid's autistic as shit. The Bryce kid. So I'm like,
Bryce?
Yeah, I'm like, ADHD for sure. I'm like, this dude's autistic as shit. I don't know. That's tainted milk.
Jesus.
Or it's pure ADHD milk. I don't
He's
know.
just like, that tastes funny. I don't know about that.
Is there what's that? Is there cumin in this? Because we're Mexican.
Cumin. Just a little bit of spice in there for you, son. Just a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
A little jalapeno.
Yep. Yeah. With our parents, definitely.
Maybe more like margarita.
That would explain a lot. That would mom was a drinker. So
And I won't be talking about that.
All right, pivot.
Get to the show.
Get to the show.
All right, so we're doing Only Murders in the Building. Follows 3 people doing a murder podcast based on all murder, like this murders that keep happening in their buildings. They keep on being centered around them, all that stuff. And so Charles, he was an actor in a show that was kind of like MacGyver, I guess, something like that. And then you have Oliver, who's played by Martin Short, who directs plays. Pretty much, that's his job. That's what he does. And so he's creating a play about a murder with a mother and three children, triplets, right? And so they're rehearsing for this play, and Charles he's very nervous because he's never done a play before. He's never done a musical before. And so he starts to get on stage, and then he starts singing, and then all of a sudden all these obscenities start coming out of his mouth. And he whites out. Not blackout, not brownout, whiteout. And to kind of explain it, they actually say like this isn't a real thing, where he goes into this white room, right, where actors kind of lose sight of reality during a performance because you're just so riddled with like anxiety, with things you have to remember and all this stuff. And all of a sudden you just go into this room and you can't really control what you say or do. And so that's where we see Charles coming in and just being pantsless. No pants on. Who hasn't blacked out with their pants off? Hey, you know what? We've all been out on a Friday.
Jesus. I just saw Sabrina look up in the air. She thought about it. She's like,
Huh.
You just got out of church. You just got out of church, girl. Shut up.
Yeah. Still got Jesus' blood in you and body. All right. Let's not go there. All right. He's still there.
Hey.
Anyways.
That was a blackout. That was a blackout.
That was a blackout.
All right, sure. Okay.
Not a whiteout.
Nothing white about that situation. All right. Anyways, let's. Anyway, so Naz, Have you ever encountered somebody who's had a whiteout before? Have you encountered a whiteout before? Maybe we can deep dive into that discussion between all of us. Like, have we done a whiteout before? But first, I kind of want you to answer. Have you ever dealt with like a client or anything like that that's actually had a whiteout before instead of a blackout?
So we get into the semantics of it when it comes to like clients. The whiteout more refers to as an anxiety attack, but you actually keep performing or you keep doing the thing. So most of it at the university level is going into exams. So you got a big exam to do. You sit down, you get ready to take your test, you write your name down. Damn. And damn is like everything is just gone. And so I've heard the whiteout before, but only when I got to the university level, when students say it's just white, they don't see anything. And they're trying to recall the formulas or the sets. They're trying to read, but then they have to reread over and over. And they're there, but it's like an autopilot where someone else is like controlling them, but it's not really them that's in charge. There's no real like cognitions and thought that are in there. It's just kind of autopilot. So that's the thing that happens quite often. I will have it with student athletes before big things. I will have it students that are in the band, orchestra, that are going up there and singing, right? They'll have it before their performance or even during their performance. So there's a lot of ways to combat those things and to work through those things cognitively, but also putting in certain behavior things to make sure, because we're going to get into the next scene, to make sure that, you know, you're a little bit calmer when you start that process. So it's super common. Folks will see it as an anxiety attack, but it's not something that's debilitating and they just go and recluse into their bedroom. It's more like they're in the moment. They have to do it now. You're in an interview for a lot of our clients here. You have to do it now. If you're a nurse and there's a shit ton of trauma going on, like you're kind of on autopilot and they'll be like, so how was your shift? Sabrina could be like, I don't know. I mean, well, you saved 3 people's lives. And I don't remember. I remember I stubbed my toe, but then other than that, I don't fucking remember anything. That's how it is for a lot of people. You just kind of zone out and now you're just there. For myself, it usually happens these days with like bigger speeches or engagements, talks. Like, so I just recently did a lot of autism presentations. There's like certain classes. So I did some guest lectures. And they all go well, but I'm also like, where the fuck am I at right now? Like, what am I even talking about? And then someone will ask me a question or give me direction, and then I lock back in, and now I'm like good and educated again. Beforehand, though, because those, I know those in and out. When I was still like young as a therapist, I remember the first time I was so nervous is when I went to go meet the women's basketball team at St. Mary's. And the coach was like, hey, I need you to talk to the girls. So we sat on the court in a circle. And like, I was ready to piss myself the entire time. I've never had to pee myself with anxiety before. And now I'm like,
I gotta go.
Because I'm used to talking to boys. And then coach is like, I need you to talk to the girls. And so it's just a whole different thing. Because with the boys, I can use a lot of like stupid words, profanity, and I can be like jovial and funny. And the women, you can do that as well too, but they need to believe you and trust you first. And so there has to be a certain amount of intelligence there. Not saying that the boys don't need intelligence to be there, but you're fighting two different things. The women need to know that they can trust you. The boys, you're trying to really get more like their respect. The women I usually working with, they want to see that you're intelligent and also a good human. The boys, they're trying to make sure that you're still a man's man and you're still masculine. Thus, the information of mental health and suicidality can come across. So I'm acting a little bit more goofier with the boys. The women, I'm making sure that I present as a good man that can help them, because a lot of the men that they know in their lives have been a little shitty, been a little bad. And there's still the masculinity issues, doesn't matter what gender, with mental health. And so I was freaking out, dude. I ain't gonna lie, I fucking whited out. I have no fucking clue what happened. Coach is like, you did good. I'm gonna send 3 of them to you. I'm like, huh?
What?
Well, to me or to the white lady that's my
zucchini.
I don't know.
Understand.
And next thing you know, I'm seeing like probably 30% of all the sports team on campus, majority of them women athletes. Then I'm doing talks to the whole university in freshman classes. And I remember my dad was in the crowd for like one of them. And I was like, I got no fucking clue what I just said up there. He's like, you did good. And people were laughing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just up there shit talking. like I have PowerPoints and presentations and bullet marks.
Yeah.
But Spence knows I can't look back at the board because then I start to like dissociate. This dyslexia kicks in. Even in my big job interviews, like I can't look back at the board. I just got little bullet points to keep me like somewhat on track.
Right.
And I've rehearsed it so much that I just go. So the whiteouts, I have had them often. Now, if we're talking about blackouts from drinking, that's been the thing too. I had my freshman year was rough. My freshman year was rough. Me and Sabrina had a very similar freshman year. But Sabrina, have you had any these whiteouts from anxiety or like stress, or just went on autopilot?
Yeah. This is like the first time I'm hearing of the term, whiteout. But I definitely have had this happen going into major interviews where it feels like, okay, tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a sense of dizziness even. And it's like, I know that I know I'm saying something, but I don't know what I'm saying. Right. That's actually happened to me several times. I used to be a performer. I don't know if you probably, let's see, you weren't born yet, but mom made me, I was in a Mexican ballet folklorica group dance. So we danced and performed on big stages, hundreds and hundreds of people, live mariachi. And so definitely before a performance on stage in front of all these people going out there, especially doing solo. Hold on just a second. Boyfriend wants to give me a kiss.
Put the sugar on me, girl. Put the sugar on me.
Let's put this on OnlyFans.
You gotta give the boyfriend love, He's letting me use his laptop, for God's sakes.
I need my sugars. Sabrina's that brown sugar. Oh my God.
It's better. Brown sugar.
And brown sugar.
Oh, is brown sugar better?
It's better for you. Sure.
So now going back to those, I'm recalling like those performances, especially being like the solo ones, being so nervous and then never, like after walking on stage, not even really remembering, like, did I do that? Did I do that right? I just didn't even know that this was something that other people experience until right now. Blackout, a whole nother thing. Whiteout, I've definitely experienced that.
Sabrina, didn't you just come back from Mexico? So I'm sure you had some altercations with some blackouts over there.
Altercations with
this whole new relationship that I have, it's been good for me.
Oh, good.
That's good.
Yeah, the relationship, he's just a real nice guy, kind of, real loyal. And I don't know. It's always in the back of my mind, like, you can't drink too much.
You don't need to.
Yeah. No, I had a lot of fun. I've really limited my alcohol. So happy to report no blackouts in Mexico.
There we go.
Plus the fact that, when in Mexico, I'm not sure you really want to.
Yep.
Yeah. Because
you never know.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on a 60 Minutes report. You know what I'm saying?
And actually, I'll revalidate that. Actually, I shouldn't have to say this because, women should just be safe. Men should just be safe. But, even in America, like, it's sus if you get blacked out because people will take advantage of certain things. So this is a triggering topic, but people should just be better anywhere. But we're not. And, I have to coach a lot of my students to be very cautious with alcohol, specifically in their first year of schooling. Sure. You got to be very cautious. Yeah. And, I was not, did a lot of stupid stuff. A lot of people aren't, but I'm glad. The reason why I joke with her about the blacking out is the family's got issues with, addiction and alcohol abuse. Yeah. And so it's good that you're doing better with that. Not that saying that you had an issue, but, our family does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have addictive personality too, boy. So it's like,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so no blackouts, but the whiteout thing is definitely something that I've experienced. And so on top of that, now that I'm 53, I'm menopausal, hormones change.
Okay.
And apparently, this change in hormones can induce anxiety
Oh,
a lot more frequently. And so I've been experiencing the anxiety, not necessarily even related to any trigger, but just maybe a hormone imbalance.
yep.
And then all of a sudden, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm like, take me to the ER, check my pulse, somebody get a timer. Am I still alive? I mean, I've actually had recently in the last couple of months, a conversation with somebody during a panic attack. I'm like, please just take care of my kids. Just take care of my kids. Look,
Jesus.
my life insurance policy is this. I mean, and it's so real. And you really feel like I'm going to pass out any second now, and I'm on my way to death because I can't breathe. And being a clinician, it's even scarier because you're tachypnic or breathing too fast. You know that your heart rate, so you're tachycardic, so your heart rate's through the roof. And then you get to the ER, and they're like, "You're just having a panic attack." And we can admit you and charge you $10,000, give you some Xanax IV or something, calm you down, or you can just try to think through it, breathe through it. And that was like the first time that happened. I was like, what? So I was like, okay, I'm not paying $10,000, but I'm also not going to go far away from the ER. So I sat in the car for another 3 hours until I could think my way
chill.
through this attack.
Yep.
It was insane.
Jesus.
Scary. It's scary. It's
Yep.
just very scary.
Yeah, it makes sense. Hormones, neurochemicals being messed up, estrogen.
Yes.
Yep. And then your main vagus nerve just freaking out because of everything, and the serotonin's being messed up. So yeah, it's going to mess you up for sure. Which could lead you to more of those blackout like feelings, because now you're like freaking out and your brain's shutting off. Intense. Yeah, you never know. I have a lot of clients that go through that with their PMS and also PMDD, I think it's called, premenstrual depressive disorder. Yeah. So some folks, we help them get on like birth control. Some women, cisgendered women, we help them get on birth control to help regulate some of those more hormones and chemicals. A lot of my clients benefit from them. Some of them, it makes it worse. And so we need to switch very quickly from either the pill, the IUD, right? There's many different forms, non-hormonal, right? Sometimes we just add in an SSRI, an anxiety medication, just to help them regulate their serotonin. And maybe they don't need to go on birth control. So there's a lot of different things on how hormones can mess things up for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But after watching that little clip, now I'm wondering if it was just maybe it wasn't hormones. Maybe it was a response to me moving out of my boyfriend's house.
So we can get into that in the last clip. Yeah. Spence, you got any issues with the whiteouts?
The white man? Every day. Every time I look in the mirror. God damn it. Why?
I hate you.
Why am I so privileged?
It's such a hard life being a white man.
Oh my gosh. Why couldn't I be darker?
Why is my credit score so high?
It's it's fucked up. It's because like I don't have all the privilege of having a high credit score. My shit's in the tank, man. In the fucking tank.
That's the black side in you.
I know, finally it's coming out. My credit score. God damn it. Knew I shouldn't spend that money on those shoes. Fuck. All right. Anyway.
Addiction. Every time you go to Nike.com, white out, and he just buys the shit.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Ordered 5 new shoes? Shit.
5 new shoes.
Wallpaper. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5 new shoes and a mouth gag? What the fuck is this for?
I have a couple shoes right now. They're right here.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, definitely have had it. Especially when we talked about it. I have interviews or anything like that. I kind of just go on autopilot. I'm just like, and just go
Mhm.
from there. Yeah, it's been getting a lot better now since I've gotten a lot more experience, especially in the professional world. It's gotten a lot better. Still can't remember shit after the interview.
Isn't that weird?
It's like,
Right.
what happened? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we talked about that. I forgot. But yeah, that's been a huge thing. And then also, um, I mean, I've had to present in front of people, and I think I've actually gotten it more during testing than anything else.
Okay.
Where I just blank out and I just can't remember shit that like I know,
You know.
like right away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Especially sometimes if I get asked like I'm presenting and they ask me like a question or something, because my mind's blank at that point. It's not, there's nothing going in and out. I'm just worrying about like the presentation, and then somebody asks me a question. And I'm just like, um, hmm, Norway. What? Talk about math. But yeah, that, and then I mean, I've also, I remember one time it was a weird situation where, like I used to live off of the freeway, and so you get a lot of different people like coming off of the road and stopping like in front of my house. One time I was mowing the lawn, and then this car pulled up, and they were like, excuse me, can you come over here for a second?" And I was like,
Okay.
strange. All right, what do you need? um, And then yeah, it was a woman who worked at the VA. I think she was also a vet as well, and she was having like a really bad panic attack apparently on the freeway. And
Oh.
so she came off the road, and I just started talking to her, just trying to help her calm down until like the parent, because she had the paramedics on the phone.
Yep.
And so yeah, it was just a weird situation because it was just a random person. I'm usually like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm just mowing my lawn. What you need?" I was like, "What you need?" She's like, "Come over here." And I was like, "What do you need?" And she was like, and then she was crying
Yep.
a lot because she was having a really bad panic attack. And
Oh.
then yeah, I was just talking to her until the paramedics came, and then they kind of helped take care of her from there. So that was kind of a little bit my situation, especially when it comes to like just, talking to people out of being in that, in that mind space.
Yep.
So
Hmm.
yeah. And my girlfriend and stuff, like she's had like, I don't think I've ever been around her when she's had like a really bad panic attack or anything like that, but I've definitely talked her through some stuff on the phone, like if she was going through like a situation or anything like that. So, yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Interesting.
I'm a great person.
You know,
Yeah, no, with a lot of patience. That's nice.
you got your moments.
I
You got your moments.
I also have like zero patience.
He got zero, but for some people, he's got a lot. For some people that he
Yeah.
loves,
Yeah.
he'll
Yeah.
give you some rope. And then other people, he's like, fuck you.
Fuck out my face.
Yeah. Interesting. I actually had a little bit of a whiteout the other day
Ooh.
because you just talked about someone helping you down. But this person was technically saying the wrong things, but then he said the right thing. I'm good because I'm detached from it now and I'll be real surface level. But I had a client that went through some really rough stuff. And these are one of those moments where I feel like I hate all humans and I think we're all worthless, and then the entire world should be eradicated because of the things that we do to each other. We should just all be gone because we all suck. So in that moment, I'm really angry, and I'm looking at the client and like just coursing blood, not at them, angry about the situation that they're going through and what people do. And like I'm stewing. Because protective. I'm very, 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 very protective of the students that I love and I've been working with for years and years and years. And then to see people do things or to take advantage of someone I've known for so long. And then I was just getting real quiet. And the next thing you know, I started tapping my finger like my father on the table, and you could hear my nail ticking. And they were like, uh-oh. So after that, I left and I went and talked to the doctor. Doctor also works with the person that I work with. And then I let them know kind of what's going on. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking stewing. And then he said a few things, but I couldn't talk. And I was like, dude, when I get angry, I cry. So I just sat there and I was just like tears pouring. But like just bloodshot eyes, just furious, like just furious. And he's like, you need to go for a walk. I was like, I got a client I'm already late for. He was like, now you need to go to the psychiatrist. You need to go for a walk, 5 minutes. So I went outside, went for a walk, got a couple deep breaths in, went and saw my next boy, and like everything was chill. But I was still like dissociated for the next couple kids, and I came home and passed out for like literally 12 hours.
Yeah.
So it was tough, but you're right. So he kind of walked me through a few things because he was like, man, they want to smoke. Let's get ready. I'm like, I don't need someone to be angry because that's going to make me more angry. Because that's what my dad will do. He'll like fuel the fire and like hate humans too. And I'm like, chill. I just need someone to tell me to like chill. Doc was like, go for a walk. Because I was completely fucking out of it. Completely out of it. So it does happen. So in heightened emotions, we're going to pivot real quick to autism.
Yep.
A lot of us who are autistic or have trauma histories, there's a lot of us that can't regulate emotions. Like, well, there's a certain threshold benchmark, and then as soon as you go above it, boom, you're gone. And you're dissociated, you're whited out. You have the inability to control like what's going on, what's being said, what you feel. And so a lot of us folks will just kind of shut down and go inside. And some of us will blow up and then go externally. I always used to be external. Father was always external. Mother was always external. Overwhelmed emotions. They get something's going off that they didn't like. Boom, they blow up. They yell. Shit's violent. As I got older now, I can de-escalate things and then keep a little bit inside. I also know how to take my hand off that wire of emotion to where I'm just seeing the things happen instead of feeling them happen. So that really helps me in therapy. But this other day, I kept touching the wire, and then before you knew it, I was lost. This could happen with people teasing you, bullying you, maybe too much stimulation in the room, light, sound, noise, sensitivity, right? You just get overwhelmed. You could also white out in those moments, aka what we call for folks on the spectrum is just dissociate. You're gonna be a little dissociated, deregulated. So you're gonna have to go back and do your coping skills, which we're gonna get into technically in the next scene. We didn't get a chance to make fun of the White Room.
The White Room.
You know.
Where all the whiteness happens.
And I like how he's in there fucking painting.
Yeah. You gotta make it even more white.
I know.
Yeah.
You know.
There's never enough.
More clean.
More clean.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's where the world is run.
I feel like that's the America. You know, it's already really white, but we're gonna make sure we keep this shit white in America.
We gonna make there's a blemish.
Yeah, you know, the guy, man, you know, we building that wall. We gotta keep them, you know.
Oh, they think they can get rights?
We're gonna paint over that in the Declaration.
Yeah.
Jim Crow laws. Here we go.
We're gonna paint right over them. Separate but equal?
Right over.
Nah.
Right. Hey, Jim Crow. We gonna use that Jim Crow paint.
Jesus, dude, oh my God, I have to say this now because I saw this the other day.
What?
Did you know that in the books that they were giving a lot of the slaves in America, the Bibles, there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages ripped out of them to make sure that they were always submissive and they weren't learning on how to rebel or like what these human rights are, these God-given rights are. So they took all that out of there to make sure that they never really learned. And I was like, they were called slave Bibles. You got to be shitting me. They ripped out like 600 to 800 pages.
Yeah.
These are one of those moments.
They couldn't, but they weren't able to read.
No,
but there were some that could read.
Correct.
And then they would speak the book out to them.
Oh, you're saying after they were already slaves.
They were. Yeah, they were.
Because you had a few slaves
like,
that actually could read because they were taught by
to read. Because they also wanted that.
I was envisioning like right off the boat they were given.
Oh no.
Titles and like that's.
No. This was way later on. Yeah, this is when they wanted to make everyone Christian and Hispanics and Aztecans Christian, natives Christian. Yeah. So they would give them a certain Bible, an indoctrination Bible. So it's just interesting. Random thing me and a student were talking about at the Latin Center the other day. All right.
Can we go back to the White Room?
Go ahead.
So with the White Room, when Steve Martin was, painting and, making it more white, I've actually, what I associated that with was just, and I've been experiencing this lately, like I cannot move on. I'm like stuck with, cleanliness. Like everything has to be off the counter. Everything has to be out of the way. Everything has to be in its place before I can even begin the task of like, it could be just doing invoicing.
Yeah.
Nothing to do, but like my space has to be completely, and this is a new phenomenon over the last year. And so when he was doing that, I was like, I feel his pain. I feel this. I know what that feels like.
So
it's interesting.
that is probably going to be, for you, anxiety related. You could be having just wanting to make everything nice and neat and clean so that way you can have full attention. You also could just be avoiding of doing the thing that you want to do. So you're procrastinating.
Totally. I thought that too. I'm like, am I procrastinating?
It's a different type of
Or am I
procrastination.
trying to control?
It's a little of both. A lot of humans will go through those things where they will avoid because they don't want to do the thing that makes them really freaked out. So they'll do something like calm them to regulate them. But also it does waste a little bit of time. So it really depends with some folks. It depends if it's a coping skill or is it full on just running the clock out until something else comes up. Usually the bigger the tasks, the heavier the task, the more stressful the task, like doing your taxes. We're going to keep everything private right now.
IRS.
Hey, whether you do it or don't.
Hey,
Yes.
Since we're Mexicans, IRS, ICE, a couple other people are in there, FBI.
Your Honor, it sounded the same.
Ghostbusters,
Just got my passport, Nas.
You just got your passport?
And it just got revoked.
That girl too Mexican. That room ain't white enough, girl. Give me your passport back. But you're right. Very correct thing, Sabrina. So that second scene, what are we doing in that second scene, Spence?
Yes. So as we've seen with Charles before in the first season, he likes to make omelets, right? Likes to make them. Makes them for his stepdaughter?
Yeah.
I think it's stepdaughter, if I remember correctly. Makes him for his stepdaughter. That's like one of the things that he does to kind of relax himself, even though like his stepdaughter isn't in his life as much. He still makes the omelets technically for her and then throws them away. Now he's in a relationship with Joy, and they are they're together, but then she's trying to really be like his only type of like coping mechanism, like the only thing that helps him regulate. Just think of me, just all you have to do is think of me. And so, he's starting to make these omelets and he's like, oh, I got a way to actually stop the whiteouts from happening. And they do help because he starts singing the song. And then he's like, Joy, I did it. And she's like, no, that's only temporary. You can only think of me, which that's just like
weird.
It's just fucked up. It seems manipulative, in my opinion. It's just like, you can only think of me. I'm the only thing that's going to get you through this hard time. Which we could talk about, maybe trying to put a little bit too much on the loved ones that are around us instead of just, trying to figure out our own shit. Like we can have a nice balance between figuring out our own shit on our own and then having our partners, loved ones to kind of help us along with that as well. But yeah, in this scene, and then they talk about doing antelope style. I've never heard that one. Nope.
I think
because you haven't read the book.
It's a long book. I ain't trying to, like I only got so much space, much time.
I got dyslexia.
I haven't read it all either, but
what am I supposed to
what's
do
that?
here?
What's that, Nas?
I got dyslexia, and then someone goes, it's all pictures. Well,
They're upside down. I don't get it.
Is the people funny looking? I need fat brown people. This big. Show me some pictures of big Samoan motherfuckers fucking, and then I can figure it out.
There's like two.
Let me see some big boys pushing tush, and then I'm
supposed to pick her up. The fuck?
Oh my god!
Damn! I gotta go back to the gym.
Oh shit! And sometimes I want someone to pick me up. I like to be held.
Take me away.
I want to be a little spoon. You know what I'm thinking? I want to just be held. Just
can't get your arm around.
Just I want you just just rub my chest and my acne. Besides the point, I think it's really funny that she's like, don't worry about the eggs. That's not the best coping skill. It's only a one-time thing. Just come over here to this coochie.
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
It's the same thing, you asshole.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, you said that, but I'm also like, that is so weird. Maybe she was trying to just distract him with sex, which is fine.
Well, also with this relationship, it is because this is like his first time in a long time being in like a
real thing.
long-term, a real relationship, and so he's also panicking a little bit about that as well.
Yep.
And he sees how she kind of is and isn't a big fan of how she has like a big ass fish tank of fish, and like has all these other little things that he's kind of like, I don't know, and then she's kind of impeding on his space as well. So there's a bunch of little things that are in there too, because he's always lived alone, and now he has somebody else coming into his life, bringing their stuff, bringing their baggage, all that. So
yeah, I wasn't really sure I was confused by that scene because I was like, she cannot be really like, she's a WAP girl, right? I mean, like, that's all the yes. No,
damn, my mouth watering and shit.
You know the song, so like
my shit looks like Dune. Fucking all sand. Dry as hell. Where's the water?
You don't need anything else except for, I was like, is that what it really was? So I was confused. I'm glad you clarified. Because I wasn't sure how to interpret that scene.
Yep.
But she's definitely, just come get some of this WAP and that's all you need. Yes. So I'm a big fan of Esther Perel, who is, like a relationship counselor.
Okay.
Out of New York. She studied abroad. She's written many books. She's studied relationships in I don't know how many 40 different countries.
Okay.
And the one thing that I love that she says is this, this whole idea of a soulmate, and like Spencer said, and you being everything to that one person is just too much damn pressure.
No.
Right? It's just too much pressure. And really, it's a romantic ideal. It's an ideal, that's brought out of romanticism, which is basically, like probably the number one reason why relationships fail, because we're so based on romanticism.
Yep.
And you should be everything for me, my soulmate, my best friend, my Jesus, my God, my mama, my daddy, my everything. Right. So like, that's just way too much.
Way too much.
I need you to be my man, I'm like, I have friends. I've got
he has risen again.
Pastor. I've got all these other people to help support, me. I don't need you to be everything.
No. That was very well said.
Yeah.
I've been working with a lot of clients over the years, but even now, and they're like, Nas, he meets all the check boxes. Perfect, funny, educated. We got all these similarities. Everything's magnificent. But I'm scared I'm either going to fuck it up or I'm not like fully into them. Those are usually the two things when they find like this perfect person. And as I am not a woman, but as a lot of my women are getting older, Spencer's like, hey, maybe.
I mean, apparently people on Instagram that you DM,
they mostly think I'm a woman. So I get invited to women like cruises and shit just because I'm nice and friendly. Dudes aren't friendly on Instagram. So they're like, Nas, you want to come to this cruise? And then
girl.
And then they'll be like, it's only a women's retreat. And I'm like, I'm not a woman. Oh.
Ladies only. Hey.
She's like, you can't go. I was like, okay.
Margaritas.
Beside the point.
Yes. Sorry.
Is there is this time clock, right? A lot of my women, they want to get married. They're ending their, they're getting into their 30s. It's time to have babies now. It's a lot of pressure. And they always tell me, if not now, when? If not now, this perfect human, then who else? Well, I'm fucked. If not this person, I'm only going to get older. The time's running. I need to settle down. I need to buy a house. And so it's just a lot of pressure. And I've been telling students recently, I'm like, you got to take the pressure off, dude, because you're going to completely fuck this relationship up. And it's a perfect human. You both love each other, but there's so much pressure to make this work because of your past traumas. That this is not gonna. This is not good. And it's just really sad to see how much more pressure there is for a lot of my women, and how things are like need to be sped up even faster. Specifically because their parents will put pressure on them about kids, babies. You're getting old. I have a lot of clients that are international, and the parents are like, hey, if you don't find a man, then we're gonna get you an arranged marriage. So not only do they have to find one that they may have to like, but they actually love, but they might get set up with one if they don't. It gets really complicated.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was talking to the kid recently, and I said, hey man, there's perfect people for everyone. I've said I've been in love with two forever people. Obviously I'm not with them, but there was two forever people that I could have been with for a longer term. And I said, there's multiple people out there for everyone. It's just not one soulmate. Just like there's forever friends that you have there too. There's always multiple humans. The sad thing is a lot of us never really leave our little bubbles, and we never find those people because we're so anxious about getting rejected, but you're going to get rejected. It's a whole fucking thing. Very complicated. Not enough time to talk about. But yeah, I'm glad that we all agree that she came off a little weird there.
A little controlling.
The cool thing was that he found something to cope with. So we're going to do a little pivot. So for him, it was the eggs and like doing this thing that Spencer said where he used to do for a stepdaughter, and it was rhythm, right? He's doing the motions, flipping shit everywhere, making it right. I mean, I can't even fucking crack an egg without getting salmonella. So
I got it again, Dad. Shit.
How'd I get chlamydia? What the fuck?
What?
How'd I get crabs from cracking an egg open?
I get pregnant.
Yes.
It's the wrong egg.
Sinner. You're a sinner now.
Hey, immaculate conception.
Sunday.
So we all have coping skills. Sabrina, do you know what yours are? Because we don't really have to go into ours because we're always on the podcast talking about them. Do you have any go-tos that make you feel good? Right now it's cleaning a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there any other things?
Well, yeah. I mean, actually, I think it's music. So I'll put on a certain station, and right now it's country. And it's Old Dominion. It's actually Old Dominion, and they kind of play on, Alexa kind of plays the same songs, and the first 4 or 5 songs are always the same, it seems like. And that kind of helps me even, I feel like I can even pull away from cleaning and focus on what I need to do. That again, just a new thing that just kind of seemed to work. Before that, it used to be take a run.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So get outside, put on some ear pods or not, and then take a walk or a run. And I really like walking in neighborhoods that have lots of trees, can hear birds or not, but the scenery is kind of important for me.
Yep.
And so so that I know like always makes me feel good, and I can come back and do what I need to do.
For sure.
Refocus, so to speak.
So Spencer, you see, she got all that Mexican heritage, and she just keeps trying to plaster over with that the white room. I like country now.
That white man really got to you, didn't he?
Hey, I can't. Now what? Let's how all of the cowboys. I'm pretty sure that the cowboy culture
Mexicans
was from Spaniards.
It's true. I, I
Well,
will.
the white man took it over like everything else. So,
Well, I mean, remember the Alamo kind of, yeah. So,
well,
but still, like when people say, are you from Mexico? I'm like, yeah, Texas,
Yeah.
that part of Mexico.
Yeah. True.
I mean, like I was born in Michigan, and so was my mom.
Hey, I know one country song: selling turnips on a flatbed truck.
and then turnips.
Hey, it's a song. It's actually pretty good.
Hey, look, I've gotten into old school country myself, so it's how
Really?
it goes sometimes. Yeah, Wichita Man, that's my shit. I love Wichita Man.
Is it smushing music? Is good smush music?
Is
or
it
no?
smushing music? It's by Glenn Campbell. Calm down.
I mean, I don't know. Couldn't you smush to it?
Sometimes.
See?
Jesus. You got a cowboy hat on. I tell you what, you can do anything you want, boy.
Lassos.
Put them spurs on. Clink, 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 clink.
let it dig into my back.
Oh my God. What?
I like the pain.
You too.
Mount me. Oh, sorry, too far. Put a saddle on. I mean,
I need you to kick me in the spurs.
Kick me right in the head.
Okay.
All right. Anyways.
We all have our egg moments. Me and Spencer
Yes.
talked about ours many a times. I just want to touch on Sabrina's. That way we can move on.
Yes. And for everyone out there, go check out Glenn Campbell. Great artist. He's lovely. Has some great songs. So, yeah. If you ever heard Southern Nights, that's my dude right there. That's my guy. Anyways, so so what we're talking about here especially is we want to talk about also some behavior modifications there in this scene. Because right after he learns that, he also tries to do it when he's singing the song. And it's working out so far. But of course, Oliver is just like, what are you doing? Put your hands down. Why are you doing all that? And then he does so, and then he goes back into the white room because he just loses it. He loses his focus. He can't focus on anything else. Yeah. I mean, what are behavior modifications, Naz? What are those? I don't know.
So behavior mod for autistic folks can be very hurtful. And so I'm not getting into that version. I'm talking about where you're modifying your behavior and pairing it with something. So kind of like Pavlovian, the bell rings, the dog starts to drool because it thinks his dinner's ready. Right. And so we're getting into those things with clients where, let's say Sabrina is the soothing thing is the country music. So then you would start playing the country music right before you get to do your work. And so you play the country music, you do your work. You play the country music, you do your work. You play the country music, you do your work. I'm getting repetitive, but then you pull the country music away and now you pull out your work and you should already kind of be a little bit calmer. You play the country music, and then maybe you're calmer for like a meeting that you're getting ready to go into or a presentation. You're getting ready to ask someone out on a date. You're getting ready as an autistic person or neurotypical to have any social interaction period. So you do that soothing thing beforehand and then you should be calmer afterwards. If you pair the two, right, then it tends to be very magnificent. So I will pair a visualization with a lot of clients. So I'll have them do a meditation and just a visual. And then maybe we'll do that, the breathing, and then we continue to get them calm with that visual. And then we start to pair a physical touch or scent to the visual and the deep breathing. So then we do the touch. So one of my clients, it was just a little touch on the knee, just a little touch from the mother, like, hey, baby, everything's going to be fine. So I would teach clients to either say a verbal command or a touch. And then now they don't even have to do the visual deep breathing. That touch or verbal command immediately makes them calm. So you're slowly pairing things. So with him, it was the eggs and the verbal stuff. As we know, if you sing music, it helps you regulate even quicker than just listening to music. So the singing and the actual acting out of the eggs made him calm because it made him get out of his brain and just do his thing. So for me, a lot of the times, right, it is my father's voice that I hear in the back of my head. Like, we got this. It'll be fine. You'll figure it out. Whether it's my shit or my client's stuff. The last few days, right, even after I was emotional with one individual, I just fucked up. But I said, I have full faith in you to figure it out because you figured everything else out before, and I'll be in your corner and we'll figure it out. So just so they don't get too far into like sympathy and misery, we know that you can figure this out and you will. Well, that's my dad's voice being in there. So then I'm trying to implant that into others so that way when shit hits the fan, they hear my voice. You keep coming back to my therapy. I always end on the same couple things. That way you always hear my voice. It's me gassing you up at the end. So there's ways to pair things, Spencer. It's like me and you for the podcast. We have a certain like ritual of things. And so now it's kind of like autopilot. So we're not as anxious or weirded out. There's a good flow. But before I would forget to hit record, we would just forget so much shit. But now it's become so modified and so methodical that we just go on autopilot.
Yeah.
Things get paired together. So for folks, they can try to maybe find those things that help them relax, implement that more and more in those situations that should help them calm down. So that way, as soon as they get into the situation, they're good. So Sabrina, do you know any of the terms of the song? Like any of the songs that you like? Is there a certain like little phrase or like, what do they call it, Spence?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that chorus?
Yeah. Do you have any certain like little notes that you remember that stuck in your brain?
Oh, yeah. So there's one song by Old Dominion. It's like, I don't want to be a, oh, shoot. Now I'm forgetting.
White out. White out.
Negro. Don't want to be a Negro. No, thank you.
I don't want to be a one-man. I don't want to be a one-man band.
Oh.
I don't want to be a one-man band.
That's
I
good.
don't want to be a Rolling Stone alone getting.
I know the song.
Yeah.
Now I want to look it up. Can someone look it up? You got a guy to look it up?
Spencer can look it up.
Fucking, I don't even know what song that is.
Old Dominion.
It's Old Dominion. The song is I don't want to be a one-man band. I don't know the name of it, but
it's fine.
But that's the chorus. And he says, I don't want to be a Rolling Stone alone. It's just really cute about, this guy who's in a band and he, wants the girl, right, to be in his band with him. And it's all figurative.
Relationship.
Right? Yeah, right. It's figurative, but still, he's just saying, I want you to be with me. I do know that chord and I love to sing that.
So,
and the funny thing is I'm in a relationship, but I still relate so much to it because I was just not in a relationship, right?
I mean, you can always relate to stuff even if you're, in a relationship. Sure.
So you would sing that. You would just sing some of the chorus or like you would hum it and that should actually help you relax in almost every situation because it's one of your comfort songs.
Oh, I see.
So,
okay.
So like this is really nerdy, but like Spencer knows that in Fortnite, there's a lot of they call emotes where you can like dance.
It's true.
And so if you hear that song or that music, because every time I play Fortnite, I'm usually having a good time laughing. Well, we usually get our ass kicked, so it's not that fun.
A little anger in there.
But you're doing these dances, right? And the one I got locked in my head where he goes like this and he just goes, do it. And then he's like switching his feet back and forth. So that's in my head and I can just like get autistically locked in on that. And then I'm just kind of chilling and smiling.
I see.
So you need a visual representation sometimes and or you pair it with like a chorus or some words or touch or scent. So a lot of my students, I'll have them pair it with like lotion, especially my females, because they'll have like lotions on them where the boys won't. So I have them use cologne or deodorant. It's what we call smell goods because that'll bring you into something really like peaceful and awesome. So every once in a while, smell's the number one trigger for memories. So I'll smell like good food and it'll bring me back to somewhere, or I'll smell like mom's cologne and I'll be like, holy shit, who is that? Even to this day, I'll smell like her cologne on some women and I'm like, what the fuck? So it's interesting. Or like my dad's cologne. If anyone's wearing Dolce & Gabbana and like it smells like cigarettes, like immediately I'm like, father?
Dad?
Are you there, Dad?
I smell the cigarettes in Dolce & Gabbana. Where is he?
You proud of me, father?
Did I do good, Papa?
Did I do good? His answer, you're a piece of shit. Do better.
Ah.
You go right into anime face. He saves.
Making the Beetlejuice face. I see it.
Yeah, the Beetlejuice face. There you go.
Yes. Don't say his name 3 times. Don't do it.
Beetlejuice. That's the 3rd time.
We don't want somebody in here that crazy. The hell?
So that behavior mod thing or pairing is like a wonderful thing that as therapists use, like in therapy. You can use it in yoga, meditation, right? Soon as someone probably rolls out their yoga mat, they're already getting calm. Soon as they probably drive to go to the yoga classes, they're probably getting ready to get like relaxed. They take that first deep breath, boom, they're relaxed, right? They do that savasana, they're breathing at the very end on their back, the starfish, they're relaxed. There's certain ways that you can trigger these really good, feel good emotions without doing a super long thing. Now, as we pivot, Spencer brought up, she's moving, Martin Short, right? That's his name, right? The director. He's like, so what the fuck is going on? Something's going on.
Yep.
You're going through a lot of change right now. And then she's moving in. He's like, well, yeah, she's moving in. She's changing all these things. She's got 62 fish. And so we're seeing an evolution of his anxiety and stress because of all the different change in his life. So many different things. Not to mention there's murders everywhere. His stepdaughter's gone there. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Now he's starting to actually have to perform again. There's pressure on him for the performance. So now he's starting to get psyched out and thinking that you suck. Now he's getting into imposter syndrome. That imposter syndrome is what's leading to the whiteouts.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is he an imposter that this relationship may or may not work out, but also he may or may not be good at singing. So this is a really cool therapeutic moment where he checks him like, hey man, let's sit down and talk. You don't have to be a therapist to be therapeutic with someone. So you check in like, hey, it's like me and Spencer just talking. Hey, what's going on? You want to talk about it, this and that, right? And then you chat.
Yeah.
And he said, it's a lot, dude. So imagine being someone that is neurodivergent, right? Spencer knows. And they change your routine. Spencer just moved into a new house. It changes everything up. New jobs. It changes everything up. Sabrina, new relationship, maybe new houses. It fucks with you. It takes a couple weeks, couple months to get your bearings on what the hell is going on. In there, a neurodivergent person will be a little overstimulated because it's all new.
Yeah.
Client come in the office the other day. They said, yeah, I'm kind of freaking out. I was like, I can tell. I said, why? New person, new humans, new building. I never been in this building before. I'm like, okay. Midway through, I'm checking in. How you doing? They're like, I'm still freaking out. At the end, I said, how you doing? I said, I'm pretty good. I'm not fidgeting anymore. I'm not tense and like aggressive or feeling weird. I said, yeah, we made some jokes. We laughed. The conversation now, you know who I am. So the student's like, well, I'm not anxious. Cause you can tell I'm making a little bit more eye contact. I said, yep. So I don't mean to be disrespectful. I was like, I know, dude. Like, I'm autistic too. It's fine. And the guy goes, I just like all the nerdy shit you have in your office. And then he starts looking at all the nerdy shit and he's like, yeah. And then I talk about mom because there's these Egyptian like pictures that used to be in the kitchen there. So now they're in my office. And then Sabrina, you don't even know this, but I had that Egyptian Sphinx thing that I bought at TJ Maxx for Benny's funeral. When you all were like looking for dresses then. So I bought this random cat. You're like, why the fuck did you buy this cat? Everyone went there and bought dresses and shoes. I'm like, I'm going to take this cat.
This seems like a good purchase.
Yeah. That's when you should have known I was autistic.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Yeah, there we go.
Makes sense. So that's my representation of Benny. It was in the house for like a while. And then my dad got freaked out and told me to take that shit out of the house.
Are you serious?
Yes. He said it stares at him.
Oh gosh.
So Benny sits in my office with all my crazy ass clients. And the kids will be like, why is that cat just looking at me? I said, that's what my dad said. I said, it's the spirit of my brother. He's bipolar. He might kill you. So, he's watching you, making sure you don't drink too much. He'll drink it for you. Besides the point. What's the guy's name? The white-haired dude?
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin goes, hey man, let's talk about you. and how you're procrastinating on texting this girl. You're making the shit too complicated.
Yeah.
You can have a healing relationship where you go in there for one thing, but then also the other person gets a healing too. So Sabrina, you ever go into any conversations where you have to help out maybe one of your children or friends or partners? I'm sure there's like a conversation
All
where
the
you just
time.
got to listen to your homegirl.
All the time. Just had to happen this morning with the boyfriend who's not here, so I can talk.
What's the tea?
What's the tea? He's erectile troubles.
dysfunction.
So we're blending.
We went for the same joke.
It's not working, is it? It's fine.
ED, huh? And affects us all.
Jesus doesn't fix everything, even God can't fix that. I'm joking. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. No, so I have kids, he has kids, we're dating. It's the first time he's been in a real relationship. Of course, I've been divorced for 10 years. I've done this before.
Yep.
I've had different we've had different blended family, so to speak, blended family relationships. But this is his first time, and the ex-wife is having an extremely difficult time with it. And just being manipulative and just not being nice and making it seem like it's me, totally projecting the actions and everything on me. And I can handle it, but I mean, I'm trying to handle it, but I've been handling it. But just kind of talking him through that, like this isn't abnormal behavior, so to speak, or not. It's not uncommon behavior. Correct. It's abnormal, but and it's not healthy for any of us here. But just listening to him and stuff, I'm like, I'm not mad. This is to be expected, so to speak, and we'll just work through it. But go ahead, talk and let me know, but this, and I tell you what, this happens to me this is relationship. So, this is expected, but that's just like last week at the resort, this couple comes up to me and they're like, so, my wife is seeing a 30-year-old that she met on Instagram. And he's like, and I'm jealous. And I'm like, I'm not sure why you're telling me this, but people do this all the time. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen, so it happens.
Informal consultation happens all the time. Sabrina, I would advise you and him to make sure that you and him make sure you moderate your behavior, tone of voice, and to always be in control of your emotions. So that way they're the one that may be acting out, but not you two.
Oh yeah.
I have full faith in you to do that, but also him as well. You just, everything very articulate, calm, professional.
Yeah.
Because that way, if it's them, then it's them. And if we're being honest, right? You successful woman, independent mom, gorgeous young human. And so, she might be a white woman, they don't age the best.
Jesus. They age like milk.
I'm just saying, I'd be intimidated. And so that's think about it though. Anytime anyone, whenever you break up, you're always like, man, I hope they get someone that's ugly as shit.
Always. That's so funny because I just told him this yesterday. I said, the number one thing I wanted to make sure that my ex-husband never did was date somebody prettier than me.
That's what. Jesus. Hey, let's be honest. That's a real thing. So I'm not. That's not full crazy.
No, it's a real thing. It definitely is.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
I don't care what car she drives. Is she prettier?
For me, I'm like, I hope he's a fucking drug dealer.
I hope he gets caught.
I hope they get pregnant and he doesn't afford the baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm not a good person, Spencer.
No. I'm not a good person. Just to lay that out there. Yeah. Not a good person.
I said it's probably difficult, really difficult, being her right now, because she probably expected that it would be some suburban, woman who's
maybe younger,
really busy with their kids and can't keep up with themselves. I was there, I was one of those people. And, that's what these neighborhoods are full of. And I just happened to move here. And so and the funny thing is I'm being totally empathetic to her too. So like went to the kids game, and all the moms, of course, I'm a social butterfly, you know me. I can get along with anybody. So like, and the moms were like, come sit with us, come sit with us. And I just thought that would just be putting it too much in her face.
Yeah. That's too much.
Maybe too much. I don't want to cause that much trauma. I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm just trying to blend into this new unit, this new, family, and slowly ease into it, because I know it can't happen too fast. I mean, I would love for it to happen fast. Don't get me wrong. But it's just not human nature. And I don't want it all to blow up in my face.
So a good person will do what you're doing, where you're being considerate of like other people's thoughts, emotions, feelings. Also, it's like trauma informed, making sure you're doing well by them, but also your partner, because if you do okay by her, then it makes it easier on him. The relationships are complicated.
They're so complicated.
And that's complicated for a person that's neurotypical. Well, Sabrina's not neurotypical. Let's be clear on that. But
what does that mean?
Either ADHD or autistic. I don't know if you're autistic, but you're for sure ADHD.
Welcome to the club.
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if mom breastfeeds you, from what dad said, she couldn't. But if she did, that's tainted milk.
Oh my God. Why is it brown?
I think when I cried, she probably gave me whiskey.
I'm fully believe that's true.
Oh my God.
I have no idea how we're like functioning adults. I'm not saying we're the best functioning, but like it's, as I always tell everyone, I know no matter what, that my mother did the best with what she had, with her intelligence, emotions, and all of it, and trauma. But it took me until way after for me to be like understanding of that. Because during it, you hate parents, you hate everything, they hate me, and then you realize as you get older, everyone's just doing their best. And maybe their best isn't always good, but their best is their best.
100%. I mean, that's a conclusion that I came to a long time ago too. And, the power of forgiveness and the power of gratitude. Like, God damn. When I found out about this anxious, obsessive personality, this attachment style, I was like, that's me. Holy moly. And that's some way I was raised.
100%.
Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, how do I get over this? I need to do it fast.
I can't wait to see Bryce. Next time I see Bryce, I'm like, you want any milk?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh,
hey, come here.
I just flop on my bosom.
Just hit that.
Come on. That was when I was doing my best, though. Now imagine the other ones. They have no chance.
No chance. But they're doing okay. So
no, thank you. Anyway.
We hit most of the things on here. Where everyone could be getting a healing, even therapists get a healing from their clients, because we're all on a healing journey. Your therapist is crazy and messed up too. We're not perfect individuals. We're not someone that you should just fully look up to. Nurses, doctors, any healthcare provider, they've all got shit.
Yeah.
And so I always want my clients to know that I don't give a shit what room you go into. No one's above you. They just got a couple titles. We're all on the same plane. You talk your shit, you get what you need. If you white out, that's fine. You're going to write the shit before you go into the meeting. Write it down. So I just wanted to state that even though Martin Short is this big time director, he still needed a healing.
And that's something. Yeah.
Yep. So Spence, you got any sauce, anything you want to ask Sabrina before we get out?
Just kind of go on that point that you just said. I think it's also a good thing to know, like, if you are somebody that friends go to for like advice and stuff like that, and a trustworthy voice, it's like, don't take advantage of that. Make sure that you're also, checking on yourself and checking yourself in general, because a lot of people get a big head with that, and they think that they know everything and that they're like therapists themselves, and it's just like, no, you're not. So check yourself before you wreck yourself.
So know that it's a privilege and don't take advantage of it, but then also which my therapist friends have told me in the last couple of days, Naz, you need to do something for yourself. And so I did.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Don't get a big head. Know it's a privilege. And then also, if you need to like take time because someone's burning you out, then you need to set a boundary so that way you can take time. Good shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Should
for
have been
sure.
a therapist. Yeah, Sabrina. I mean, was Nas as ugly a child as I think he was, or am I?
Nazir.
Was he a beautiful baby? Was he?
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
Was.
beautiful baby.
Like
Just
the
grew into that.
way. He had a lot of curly hair. He
Aw,
was so cute. These
where
big
did
old eyes. He was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful boy. Just like he is now. Right? Right?
yeah, he is a beautiful boy. Look at
Ladies,
that. Look at that.
ladies
Wow.
out there, come on.
It's all the ladies.
But boy, what a hellion. What a hellion.
Oh, I was a piece of shit.
Mean, he was something else. One of my
Oh, here we go.
most vivid,
Oh,
most
that's
vivid
good.
memories, because as a young mom, here's the Dimitri, the one who's an attorney now. And he's just his little bouncer in the living room. The family just bouncing up and down, all happy. It's actually a bouncing swing. So happy. And then Nazir kind of like, just, looking at him. And you're wondering, what's Nazir going to do? This little turd, the shit, just like full force, runs through the living room, pushes Dimitri.
Why? What did you do that?
The swing goes swinging, and he takes off, and he's in full speed, like takes off. You can't catch Nazir. Yeah, the little 3-year-old at the time. He's just a couple years older than Dimitri, but I mean, and everyone knew it. You just have to watch out for him.
I was coming to get you.
You had to be ready.
You get
Don't
attention.
Don't let your guard down.
Hey,
Okay, good advice.
I was bullying a 7-year-old last night, so I mean, I'm still
were.
still a piece of shit.
Can't play Fortnite with you.
You serious?
Yeah. I'm super serious. I told the kid, you
The
suck.
malnourished one.
I told you suck so bad. You don't get any of the good guns. You only carry the health packs and the vitamins.
I gave you carry a gray gun? Nope.
No, the kid was like
7-year-olds.
he was 7-year-old. His dad shouldn't have had him up till 3:30 a.m. playing. So
That's true.
yeah.
That's also true. That's not a great parenting.
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Sabrina, I tease my clients so bad in therapy. It is intense. It is
You have to get
intense.
another therapist
Yeah.
to talk about their therapist.
The awesome thing is, it's kind of sad, but it's magnificent. Spencer knows this. Everyone that listens to this podcast knows this. Where I get group therapy and I run it, and I always tell the clients and students, if I'm your first therapist or group therapist, never assume that I am the norm. You will be let down because it will never be like this ever again. And so a lot of my kids are dropping out of my other group therapy because it's not me. One of them emailed me and wanted to like talk to me like, hey dude, but this is weird. Like, it's like, stay in it, dude. Just stay in it. Just stay in it. But now they're all dropping out and they're going to come back to me individually. And I like to keep things where it's healthy and therapeutic. I'm friendly. It feels like a friend, but I'm friendly, not your friend. I'm pushing you. We're doing real emotions, but I allow my humanity and my soul, my family, my culture, my father to all be in there at the same time, right? I'm not just going to be like, oh, that's hard for you.
Yeah.
Like the student knows it's fucking hard for them. That's why they're in therapy.
Yeah.
So the teasing and the swearing, it all works. Only thing I ever brag about in life is my ability to therapize a kid. I think I'm one of the best therapists like walk. I could do some shit very quickly. Sabrina, you're sociable and you're personal. Dad is, right? We're all talkers and smoozers. Now imagine me with a doctorate.
Yeah.
Imagine my father's brain and swag and con man ways. And then my mom's fucking resiliency and bullying and con man woman ways. And then you put a doctor in education on it. I can talk some shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know how good it is to use my powers for like good though?
No, that's amazing.
I get to use my powers for good. It's not even about money. It's not about making money. I get to do it to make sure students don't kill themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
To make sure that no one ever hurts them or abuses them ever again.
Yeah.
To make sure if a dude in their workplace ever looks or says anything stupid to them, that they check their asses right there. That they demand their raises. I fucking ended up being lucky as shit. I tell you that. Lucky as shit.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to see the side of you too, because, we get so busy in our lives and, don't check up, on each other as often as maybe we should. But,
It happens.
Yeah, totally. I see
Yeah.
that, kind of like a normal American life. When you move away, you're living in different states, but definitely very proud of you. And I can feel, I guess maybe your intrinsic happiness and your worth coming, that you definitely know that you're making a difference. And that's got to feel real good.
Oh, real good. Oh, Spence, you should have seen this comment that we got on Instagram the other day. I'll screenshot and send it to you. Shit made me cry. It was really good. It's really good to get good ones.
Yeah.
So we ain't got a shit one in a while, but we got a few good ones recently.
We got one on TikTok that was like 4 pages long. Not gonna kid you. I blocked them because I was like, I'm not reading all this shit and replying to you.
Was it on one of our gay posts?
It was on when we were talking about white people. And they kept on being like, this is racist against white people.
Whatever. Well, deal with it, you motherfucker.
Anyways. Thank you.
But most of them are positive. I mean, you can't please everyone.
No, you can't please
50-50.
Yeah. I can't even please my dates.
Suggest the antelope.
Oh, you ain't picking them up. Anyways, let's
not the fist.
Oh my god. See, you got caught up in it.
I like to put
That's what happens.
Hey, yeah, literally.
Don't do it.
Caught in it.
Don't fucking do it.
What do they call? Does a boy have a thing instead of a WAP? Do you just call it a wet booty?
A wet booty.
We need to end.
Yeah. End.
What do gay couples call it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyways, thank you, Sabrina, for coming out to the show. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes. Would you like to tell anybody about your socials? I don't know.
She doesn't really have socials.
Do you have anything to plug? Anything?
Or business company?
Yeah. Soon. I'll get back with you when I do. But yeah, we've got some. I do got some cool developments going on with real estate, and soon to have all those social media outlets under a pretty cool tagline, so to speak. It's going to be. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, Texas.
Right. So look out for that, Texans, as well as the many other things that you have going on there. Anyways, thank you for joining us. Once again, go check out Cure Hydration packs for people that want to stay hydrated.
It's for your soul and for your WAP.
I'm Spencer. That's Nas. Different Spectrums Podcast. Thank you. Nope. Cut the mic.
Registered nurse.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
Most Americans are dehydrated. This might be a good thing.
See? Good thing.
I mean, it's true. We drink too much coffee. Heat's too high.
Cut the episode. Just cut it.
It's off.